This is the Schmo with the Pro with the number 7th ranked UFC welterweight, the former UFC welterweight champion, the man who defended it successfully 4 times, the one and only chosen one, Tyron Woodley here in Las Vegas. How we doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing? You got more energy than me.
Yeah, the Schmo can't complain, man. What are you doing in Vegas? The Schmo saw you doing the high rollers. You were getting your jiu-jitsu game on. Yeah. We saw that this past weekend.
Yeah, I was doing a high roller tournament, and I got my blue belt with a 1 stripe on from Wiz Khalifa and my brother Big Lonnie and Eddie Bravo. So I did that, and I figured, you know what, let me hang out and train. My coach was here. Jillian's fighting Saturday, so I said, let's get some work in. So I stopped at Strength Couture, trained with Jake Shields. It's funny because people that I either fought or about to fight are wanting to help me out because they want the OGs to come back and let it get cracking.
I was going to say that. One of the few men on planet Earth to beat you was Jake Shields, man. That decision, what's it like reacquainting with him?
I mean, Jake just told me straight up today. He said, Tyron, from going with you the last 2 days, you got it. You got everything. Your double leg's crazy. Your top position. You know all the transitions. You got to put it all together. And he said, if you want it, you got another run. He said, I'm watching you strike. I'm watching you put things together. Just get in shape. Go ham in the conditioning and really put together everything in your fight like you know you can. And he said you got it in you. And I think people like to see, they like to see the underdog. They like to see the OG come back and whoop a little ass. So that's kind of what I'm on.
Yeah, speaking of a comeback, UFC 260, March 27th, you and Vicente Luque. He's the number 10 guy, the younger guy. He's hungry. You've been in this position quite a few times in your life. What are your expectations with that, man?
You know, shit, I'm trying to see if we fighting or not because I haven't seen nothing announced. So I'm maybe they got a different opponent for me. I don't know. So I'm just training kind of to be ready to fight anybody. But if it is Vicente Luque, obviously he's from the same camp, the Henry Hoops camp, and watching Usman fight and watching Gilbert fight, he's going to probably mimic a game plan based on that. So it gives me a little bit to work with. He's hungry. He's good, but, you know, I see that when people go to the next gear, like Wonder Boy did and some other fighters did, I think he showed he's kind of problematic. So that's kind of what I'm planning on doing.
Yeah, speaking of Burns and Usman, who's trained with Vicente, who could be this opponent, they got a big matchup here. UFC 258. You fought both these guys, man. What do you think's going to be the pivotal point for the victor in this fight? What's it come down to?
I really think it's going to be a position. They're going to be in the clinch a lot, in my opinion. If I'm Gilbert Burns, I remember all these grappling sessions where I was obviously the superior grappler to Usman, and Usman is a superior wrestler most likely, but what do you really want to take down Burns and put him on his back and get armbar, triangle choke, heel hook, or have your back taken rear naked choke? So I don't know how the sparring rounds went. I don't know how they, how they fared against each other. But in my opinion, Burns punches harder. He's a little bit more unorthodox and scrappier. And that's going to give him the freedom to just walk Usman down. Why not? He got nothing to lose. Walk him down, swing crazy, go for the takedown. If he gets taken down, it's not a big deal. If he gets a takedown, it is a big deal because he's going to put Usman in a spot we've never seen Usman, which is on his back and trying to work from that position. But Usman, in my opinion, is one of the best at making adjustments. If he's striking is not working well, then he goes to wrestling. If his wrestling's the first attempt, he goes to the second, third, clinch it. Then he goes back to striking, then he moves. He keeps you at bay with long kicks to the face and a jab, and he really cuts off the octagon. He doesn't do it in a, like a Clay Guida way, where you know what he's trying to do. He's kind of just subtly buys a little piece of real estate, but he never gives it up. So it should be a good fight. It's going to be a clinch war. And whoever, consistently ends up on top and lands damage, I think is going to probably win. I don't know why I think Usman, but my gut said Gilbert might be able to fucking sneak one off.
Well said, man. He puts his analyst cap on. How is your rib healing, by the way?
Man, it's doing good, but shit, Jake Shields had me questioning, was it the injury or was it just him pressing my whole fucking sternum, esophagus, rib cage, clavicle, and everything in one? So I had some great work with him. So it was just, if anybody can give me a kind of like a snapshot of where my rib is at and how I'm feeling, it would be him. You know what I mean? So I felt good. I felt fresh, and man, it's good to be back.
The Schmo's been chomping at the bit to find out who Colby Covington is fighting next. Jorge Masvidal. That's what the Schmo wants to see. Maybe it's the Ultimate Fighter. Maybe it's this summer. That's what we're waiting to do. We know you've had some training with Jorge Masvidal. Do you think that fight's going to happen? And if that fight happens, who do you see winning that fight? Former training partners.
I think Masvidal wins that fight. He's real sharp. He knows Colby. Like when I trained with Masvidal for a Colby fight, everything that Colby did, he had down to a science. So I think he's gonna relax. I think he's gonna let his hands go. Colby, no, he cannot strike with Masvidal. I do think if they're doing the Ultimate Fighter, what better two coaches to have than those two? So you may be kind of like, ahead of your time with that hypothesis.
Well, that's what the Schmo likes to see, fan first. But let's talk about the striking game for a second. Your buddy, he's due for a huge payday. Ben Askren, Funky, he's going up against Jake Paul, man. But hey, does Funky get the job done? There's not many guys who are tougher than that guy.
Ben has very dumpy power. That's the best way I can explain it. When he punches, it's not like the super fast Mayweather type stuff, but when he hits you, it's like doom. Like, damn, that fucking kind of hurt a little bit. So in my mind, I think that he clings to guys well. We haven't really seen him take a lot of punches. Robbie hit him a couple times. Obviously, he got flying knee, but we haven't seen him just sit there and just take fucking shots of people throwing hands at him. So I think he's going to be able to get close to Jake, kind of talk a little shit to him because Ben's been doing this since college, and then really just wear him down and wear him out. And I think in those later rounds, Ben's been on the stage, the Bellator stage, the ONE FC stage, the UFC stage, the Olympic stage, the NCAA stage. The crowd and the lights and everything that goes with the pizzazz behind the show, he's not going to be moved by. Jake, this is new to him. The YouTube is one thing, but when you in front of people and people are watching you, he showed up against those guys that he fought, but I think Ben's a world-class athlete. Whether he looks like he can jump 40 feet off the ground or not, he's world-class in 3 different sports.
You going to help him with this, with the striking?
Yeah, I'm going to help him. I'm going to corner him for the fight. I'm going to help him out. I'm trying to see how I can merge it in with my training camp, but Ben just told me just come after my fight. I'm like, that's only a week. He said, if you can come earlier, come earlier. But that's how Ben is. Yeah, I'll be there.
You're going to be there. Do you know where it's going to be yet?
No clue.
The Schmo's going to guess it's Florida or Texas, probably Florida.
Got to be Florida. I don't think Texas is going to be open enough. Probably Florida, probably Vegas.
Excellent, Mr. Woodley. Now, what do you want to tell all the Tyron Woodley fans out there worldwide?
I want to tell you I appreciate the support. I appreciate the hate too, because it don't bother me much, but you guys are paying attention, obviously. So I'm good to be back. I feel great. I'm motivated to go out there and just have a fucking crazy performance, man. I'm not really worried about much else. I'm not worried about, if I lose again, I'm not worried about I gotta do this to show nothing. I just gotta go out there and perform to the best of my ability, and that's all I'm really focusing on. So anything that could have inhibited me from performing in the past, any situations, anything that was clouding my mind or distracting me from going out there and do what I do best, I kind of washed off the plate. And now it's just a point where I'm just clear mind, focus, and just get it on.
It's a great note to end on, but the Schmo had one more question. We almost forgot it. Your former college teammate, Michael Chandler, he gets the job done in his UFC debut. Do you anticipate him holding a lightweight strap before the end of, let's say, 2021?
For sure. I think he's definitely in position. He's one fight away from a strap. I don't know what they're going to do, but they probably should let Dustin and Conor fight for the belt.
Again, a rematch?
Yeah.
What about Charles Oliveira?
Charles Oliveira is dope, but he's had his bumps, his highs and his lows. He hasn't really, made the fans do like this, like a Dustin Poirier did, or a Conor McGregor. And we're talking about money, let's be real. If we was really talking about rankings and what was right and wrong, our sport wouldn't even be where it's at right now. We're talking about who finna put the money up. So if you got Conor, who had a phenomenal fight, by the way, and I'm not even the biggest Conor supporter with praising him. He had a phenomenal fight. He was picking him apart. He was hitting him with power jabs. We ain't never seen Conor do that before, and it really threw off Dustin. But then Dustin made the adjustment and went for the takedown, which he said all fight week. Normally he brawls, but he's going to try to do something different. He did that, stopped the momentum of Conor, and it was really just simply a kick that knocked him off balance. And when he got off balance, Dustin took advantage. There's no knock on Conor, and it was just kudos to Dustin for seeing that and executing it. So you got 1 KO for Conor, 1 KO for Dustin. Let's do the rubber match and make them some money.
He's the pro. I'm the Schmo. He's about to catch a flight to Los Angeles. Tyron Woodley. We're out.